Hi everyone, it's July 2015 and Cecil and I have been working on a new circle and trying to just kind of update all of the things that we've done. Some of the information that we've given, we put down years ago. So now with computers and the ability to use better techniques in reproducing the things that we want you to see, we have designed a new circle that goes with my chord book. For those of you that already have my chord book, you can download it off of our website at sacramentomusicgroup.com, and it will be on there for you to download for free. For those of you that are ordering my chord book, this will now be the circle that's included with it. So what I'd like to show you is one of my students designed this for me. And I'm always trying to come up with new ways to inspire you and give you some new tools to understand how music works. So this is designed to go with my first aid chord book. This book is, I'm really proud of it. It's not professionally done. I did it for my class, and I did it with a set of DVDs that are recorded in my class. So there is 8 lessons on here. And so this comes with the book. So this will explain this chord chart in a lot more detail. But if you're not familiar with the circle, you really need to get acquainted with it. It will really help you understand how chords work. It'll help you, someday be a music writer. It helps you when you just want to sit down and noodle and play without any music. And until I understood chords, I was never really able to do that. So this book is just a comprehensive guide for organ, keyboard, and piano, and I think you'll really enjoy it. But to use it, this is kind of a really good thing to put on your keyboard and just leave it there. Some people put it in a frame and put it on their wall, and some people cut it out so they can actually turn it. But I want to take a few minutes and explain it to you so you can understand what it is that we put on here. So there's 4 different kinds of circles. The one that we use on my circle DVDs, these were done in a classroom mode also. These DVDs explain everything that's on the circle in a lot more detail also, and go into learning how to use a circle that has actually 4 different sections in it. So if you want to get some more advanced ideas on the circle, then these DVDs I think will help you a lot. So let's talk about this one for just a minute. If you look at the circle itself, if you open most books, you won't see a circle like this one. I use the circle of fourths, and most of the books that I find use the circle of fifths. And there's no difference really, it just depends on which way you feel like you want to go. But if you start with C at 12 o'clock, there's 3 different segments to this circle. The outer circle tells you just the name of the chord, or now it's included in the name of the key signature, because the chords come from scales and the scales make the key signatures. So if you play the C chord up here, I've kind of put up on top the inversion that I'd like you to play the C chord. So you play the chord, and then you look underneath it, and there's a little staff there, and it says no sharps or flats, which tells you that the key of C has no sharps or flats. Then if you look at the dark circle in the middle, that tells you the relative minor key. Up until now, you had to go to 9 o'clock to find the relative minor key. Now you can just come straight down, and A minor is the relative minor key for the key of C. So it's all right there for you. Now if you go to 1 o'clock, the F chord, that's called the circle of fourths. C, D, E, F, they're an interval of a fourth apart. So the F chord is spelled A-C-F up here. If you look underneath, it's 1 o'clock. All of the keys on the right side of the circle have flats in them. All of the keys on the left side of the circle have sharps in them. So 1 o'clock, this has 12 sections, just like a real clock on your wall. So 1 o'clock has 1 sharp. The name of that sharp is F sharp. No, flat, I'm sorry. The name of the 1 flat is B flat, and if you look, it's just 1 to the right on the circle. And then the relative minor there is D minor chord. So then you move it to 2 o'clock, and it's a key of B flat. The B flat chord is played B flat, D, and F. There are 2 flats in the key of B flat. They are the one you're on, B flat, and 1 more to the right, E flat. E flat again, 3 o'clock, 3 flats. The relative minor is C minor. And the 3 flats are B flat, E flat, and A flat. Isn't that cool? So if you go to 4 o'clock, it's the key of A flat. Has 4 flats, B, E, A, and D. The key of D flat is at 5 o'clock, B, E, A, D, and G. And C flat, G flat, and then B can also be a C flat. You're probably not going to play any chords that complicated for a while, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, if we go to the left on the circle, the key of C has no sharps or flats. The key of G has 1 sharp. The name of that sharp, and you just go over here to F, is F. Key of D has 2 sharps. It's at 10 o'clock, so if you just pretend it's a backwards clock, that's 2. 2 sharps, F and C. And if you have 3, key of A, 3 sharps, F, C, and G. So if you look at my chord book, we explained the key signatures. If you want to remember how the flats go, it spells bead. B-E-A-D. Bead. Goes in the inside rim of your tire is called the bead. So if it goes flat, B-E-A-D goes completely flat. Those are the order for flats. Sharps are fat cats go down alleys eating birds. Okay? Fat cats go down alleys eating birds. So the circle is amazing. And if you try to sit and use logic to figure it all out, it really is a miracle. And one of my friends in my music class asked me once, who invented music? So we Googled it. And on the Google it said, God. If you type in who invented music, the answer will come up, God. So it really isn't a miraculous thing when you sit there and you look at this and you realize how organized and how perfect it is. And it's really fun to explore the circle. So here's a few things that you can do, and I wrote them at the bottom of this chart. Practice the chords around the circle to the right. So you just start with C, and you play a C chord, and you just go, and I like to play it with rhythms, because it's not quite so boring. If you're playing it on a keyboard, just put the accompaniment button on, pick a rhythm, and then just start to play. So you start at the top at C, and we're going to go to the right. C, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G, B, A, D, G, C, and F. And that's really the way chords go. If you look at some of your easy play music, you'll see C chord is followed by F a lot. And then it goes right back to C. Now then we're going to go to the left on the circle. Do the same thing. C chord, and G chord, and D chord, and A chord, and E chord, and B, and F sharp, and C sharp. So it's really, really fun to practice the chords if you have a rhythm section, because it really helps you understand how your rhythms work. It kind of just makes me happy. So playing chords around the circle is really great. So that's exercise number 1. Number 2, right? To the right and then to the left. Number 3 is called practice the chords in sets of 3s. And this is called the 1-4-5 or the blues progression, okay? If you've ever heard that term. So if you play the blues in C, you start with C, go 1 to the right, which is F, and most of the time I would suggest you always make your second chord to the right, okay? C chord, F chord, goes back to C chord, and G. So it's just an alternate. C will always, every other chord will always be the one at 12 o'clock. Okay? So C chord, F chord, C chord, G chord, and just practice that. And as you practice it, you're gonna find that in hundreds and thousands of songs. It's just most of the hymns that you find, Hawaiian music, marches, polkas, most of the books in the easy play, like the 3-chord easy play books are great, and you'll find these 3 chords, C, F, C, and G. C, to the right, to the middle, to the left. And while you're sitting at your keyboard, you can just kind of lean that way. Okay, now if you put G at 12 o'clock, put the G at 12 o'clock, you will find the 3 chords that go with the key of G are G, C, G, D, and C. So you start on G, and you play C, and you play G, and you play D. And I know you can't see my hand right now, but I wanted you to see the circle. It's kind of more important. If I put F at 12 o'clock at the top, you don't even have to put it at 12 o'clock, it just kind of helps me. F, B flat, F, C, F. So anytime you pick up a piece of music and you look at the key signature, you can find it on this circle, B flat. If there's one flat, you can look at the chord that's here, and if you go one to the right and one to the left, you will find the 3 major chords that you're going to need to play for that song. So in hymnals, when you really don't have chords to look at, you can kind of figure out what they are because you know the circle. So, and then also if you're playing in the key of C, you can go down to, it says the relative minor here in the middle. Just go over here to 9 o'clock. The 3 minor chords in that key are A, D, and E. One to the right and one to the left. When I first started learning this, I was in the cheer thing in high school. So when you did this cheer, you go lean to the left, lean to the right, stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. So that's what happens with the circle. You start with the tonic, or the key that the song is based on. So if the first chord is C, you can pretty much bet that if you lean to the right, it'll come back to the middle, and then lean to the left, and then come back to the middle. So look through your books, and there's a couple of videos that I've done on playing by ear. If you refer back to those, you're going to find that this chart is amazing. And it will help you play chords in transposing, just pretty much everything that you need to know. To just sit down and have fun with the piano without being all stressed and trying to read notes and count. And you can just, I call it noodling. And this circle totally did that for me, and I hope it will do it for you. All right, it says practice 12 o'clock, major 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 12. Do this one set at a time around the circle. Example, start with C major, and then go to A minor, D minor, G, and C. Okay? So start at 12 o'clock, make a minor out of the second chord. It has to walk back right upward to back to where you came from. C, A minor, D minor, G, and C. So that's this progression. A minor, D minor, G. Hundreds of songs written with that chord progression. And then you can just sit and you can noodle. So you don't even have to know what you're playing. You just try it. It's kind of like taking baby steps and just step out and go, okay, that was fun. If you want to try it around the circle, then just put F at 12 o'clock. And then it says right here, the relative minor is D, so it helps you, just directs you right over there. F, D minor, G minor, C. So it's the same sound, so it's F, D minor, G minor, and C. It's just in a different key. So, and you have to make sure, according to this little white part of the circle, that you flat all the B's when you're playing the melody. So this circle is kind of a comprehensive, explain it on one page thing to follow. But if you don't understand all the terminology that I'm using, you're definitely going to need my chord book to help you through that. All right, then down here it says the relative minor keys are in the center and the key signatures are in the white. Okay, so I hope this helps you. It's free. So if you go to our website, sacramentomusicgroup.com, you can download this new circle, and it's a gift from me to you. And Cecil we have lots of really interesting things coming up that we're planning to share with you. We haven't been around for a while in publishing new DVDs and videos, but we're working on some new ideas that I think will make your playing a lot more fun. I really want to thank you also for all the kind compliments and comments that you're making. I've loved being a teacher my whole life. I like teaching adults. I love teaching children, and I teach children a little differently than I do on these videos, but it's really exciting to, especially for people who have had, really strict piano lessons, to finally learn how to just enjoy the music. And until you really understand chords and how they work, you're really kind of confined to just the basic music rules, reading the notes and finding the keys and counting. The chords and the circle open up to a whole new world. So you're going to be able to just sit and play your favorite songs, and they don't have to be complicated, and just enjoy your keyboard and all the features that are on it by changing the rhythms and playing around the chords with Latin beats and rock and roll beats and kind of the funky ones that you're going, what is that? So we'll be doing more videos in the future on how to use your keyboard, how to push the buttons, and what the functions do. But you can also go to the manufacturer of your keyboard and type in YouTube. If you have a Casio, type in Casio in the model number and put help with recording or understanding the rhythms, or just type in the kind of keyboard that you have, and there's a lot of stuff on YouTube right now. I don't even know how some of you find me, but that will help you a lot if you have questions about your particular keyboard. So thank you very much for listening, and you can order all of our materials on sacramentomusicgroup.com. Sacramento Music Group is all one. There's no space in between them. You can also find me on Facebook as a fan. If you type in Karen Ramirez, there's a singer named Karen Ramirez, but you'll see my picture next to a piano, and you can friend me on Facebook. So thank you for watching, and have fun with your music.